I'm going to tell you a little something, but keep in mind, this video is not about money or borrowing money. Just follow me on this one. I have a thing, and it might have came from the Italian movies or not. I don't know, but it is mentioned in A Bronx Tale, right? And this is something that I myself follow. Like, I do this as well when somebody asks me to borrow money. Sonny tells the kid has a complicated name in this movie, Kaloijo or something like that. Sonny tells the kid, like the kid is telling Sonny, who is the mob boss or whatever, he's like, this other kid, he owes me money because he's chasing him. And Sonny's like, why are you chasing this guy? He's like, well, he owes me money. He owes me $20. And Sonny goes, forget it. And he's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And Sonny's like, it took him $20 to get out of your life. Forget about it. That's something that I do as well. Again, keep in mind, this is not about borrowing money. Stay with me. Somebody asked me to borrow money. I don't always say yes, but if I say yes, borrow. Not me just willingly giving you or gifting you. Borrow. Let me borrow this, I'll pay you back. Okay. When can you pay me back by? Etc., etc., etc. I loan the money. If they pay me back, cool. If they don't, well, it took that amount for them to now never be able to ask me for money ever again. Or in certain circumstances even, never talk to that person ever again. Right? Depends. It's all context. That's what it took. That's the risk you take. The reason, why am I saying this? Because I think that our interpersonal relationships, maybe any relationship, I don't know, but in this context, I'm talking about interpersonal relationships, I think kind of work the same way. Not necessarily borrowing, or maybe, but not borrowing just money, right? More along the lines of like where this came from, how I started connecting it to that, is the part that says, well, that's what it took for me to not whatever ever again with this person, whether it's talk to this person ever again, whether it's again in the context of borrowing money, borrowing anything. If there isn't an integrity and a reciprocity taking place on both sides, not just mine, if there isn't a reciprocity and integrity taking place, then that person, in doing that, whether it's in that act or this is a pattern with this person, that is their choice to make. Now, how they make that choice will now communicate to me if whether or not they value integrity and reciprocity, and in some cases and contexts, truth. And from there, the way, depending on the way they respond, will tell me where they stand. And then from there, I now have my choice of response. In the case with the money example, well, you're cut off. You can now never, ever show face to me to ever ask me money again. That's just the money context. Now let's apply that to what I was just saying with integrity, reciprocity, truth, etc. All these things that are supposed to be reciprocal in interpersonal relationships. And if the response that the person has does not align, especially if it's a pattern, I think I tend to be a little more forgiving, depending on the context, who it is, the environment, etc. I'm going to use my discernment always. But I'll say I've had a pattern of being more forgiving in single acts rather than patterns. If it's a pattern, then that is a clear communication to me on where they stand, and now I have to determine for myself and decide whether or not this pattern aligns with what I value, which is, again, integrity, truth, reciprocity. Now their response is the price they pay, kind of like whether you choose to pay the person back or not. They can choose, they have the freedom to choose the price they pay. They just don't have freedom from the consequences of those choices. And I think this goes for everyone, including me. This literally just goes for everyone. We have a choice in how we choose to show up at every single moment in all our relationships, including the one with ourselves. We're not free from the consequences of those choices. It's actually quoted, "You are free to make the decision. You're never free from the consequences of the decisions you make." And that goes for anything. And sometimes, even if it's not what we wanted or hoped for, of course, when you loan out money, you're gonna hope this. You're betting that this person's gonna actually stick to their word and pay you back. That has integrity, reciprocity, and truth. Apply that to any other context in the relationship, of any relationship. Doesn't matter. No relationship is immune to what I'm speaking on. If their response does not align with your values, especially if it's a pattern, how you respond to that is either allowing that at, what's the word? For lack of a better word, the word is in my head, it's just not coming out. So you're either allowing it at the cost of your values. You're either abandoning your values to allow this person to continue this pattern with you, or you can respond in a way where you stick to what you value and create boundaries around what you value and not let this happen again. And so in that way, I think of Sonny. I hear Sonny's voice. It cost you $20 to get him out of here, to get him out of your life. Forget about it. I can't sound Italian if I wanted to, but I like their accent. It cost you $20 to get him out of your life. Forget about it. And that what you allow that what has access to you says a lot about what you allow. I learned the hard way. Choose yourself every time. Stick to what you value. Honor your boundaries, because if you don't, no one will. Especially those who benefit from you having none. Always honor your boundaries. Always value yourself first. Honor your values. And stay true to who you are. Especially if you see something as a pattern, and you allow it, the pattern will continue. At the cost of you. My perspective on that, it's not worth it. Don't do it. Pick yourself every time. Choose you. Honor yourself. Much love.